I think the best way to predict the future is to study history. I believe in times of old, if you were a king, your life was pretty good. Or it was as good as life could be. If you weren't a king, you were an average man, a common man. When you were a common man 2,000 years ago, you were effectively a slave and life was terrible. That was the same all the way up to perhaps 1930s. Being a common man was pretty terrible. But I kind of feel like there was a golden period in the 50s to 60s to 70s to 80s where being a normal, hardworking man went from being a terrible existence to quite a good existence. You could be a normal man who worked in a factory, and with one wage, you could afford a house, you could afford a car, you could afford to raise a family, your children would not be taught garbage in school, your wife would respect you, you'd have a home-cooked meal.
Times were good.
Times were good. The kings have always been fine, and we always will. But if you're the common man, I think that the good days are over, and I think it's gonna get harder and harder. Inflation is gonna absolutely decimate your spending power. Now, inflation doesn't damage me. Inflation doesn't damage me because I own all the assets. Inflation means my car collection is no longer worth 110 million, it's now worth 300 million. Whatever.